Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Time to look at Bunkai for Pinan Shodan. Again, go back to the Bunkai videos. There's a whole series of like 8 or 9 of them where I discuss concepts of interpretation and understand that any move in kata can mean any variety of things. We don't know what the original founders had in mind, so I gave keys to templates of how these moves can be used. So our first moves in Pinan Shodan go left and right. 1, 2, and 3. Now, typically that indicates, according to one paradigm, that I'm going to be to the left or moving to the side of my opponent on this side. So if my attacker's here, I'm moving to this side and I'm attacking him from those side angles. I'm going to take it this time that as he's coming to me, I'm going to be on the side of him to the outside and then to the inside of his arm for our first 2 techniques. Now, of course, there are always going to be little variations, as I said, interpretive template that you see things through. So, Max, onegaishimasu. So before we use a stick, just go ahead and set that by the wall. If we're in sort of a grappling tie-up situation, I can move here to the side, pulling down on this arm, striking to the head, pull back on the head, punching to the body, pulling back on the arm, back hammer, right? So I have this move, 1, 2, 3, okay? We could do it again from a grappling sort of a situation where I move his arm this way and punch to the head here, then come under, controlling against protecting here, and then smacking back. So there are a lot of ways that we could look at this from a grappling template. Maybe he's just throwing a roundhouse punch and I sidestep here. Again, we have that same paradigm. Smack him in the head, punch his body, right? Grab, pull back, hammer back of the neck. So there are a lot of ways to look at this. But for our purposes, I have a set technique just to give a self-defense concept technique that students can take away. So we're going to go with the overhead club. My back will be, let's go this way, it'll probably be easier to see. So as he attacks, I want to get to this position. But we also have to remember that with a weapon, I want to close the distance, okay? I don't care whether it's a howitzer, a Scud missile, or a dagger, his advantage is distance. And knives are a little bit different, but again, if I can get in close and control the knife, at this range, as long as I am inside and controlling the knife, I have as much deadly capacity as the knife does. If I'm out here where you can still slash, some knives are a little bit different, but with any cudgeling, pummeling type of a weapon, we're going to move in closer. So I start with, hey, I'm just going to take a walking step. How far I step is solely dependent upon where I need to get inside the weapon so I'm not blocking here. The second thing is I don't want to get to a set position because that's going to slow me down for the next movement. So it's a casual, just a walking sort of instead of 1, 2, it's a and 1 type of movement. This is my and, but I haven't gotten to here yet. 1. Now the angle of my block, also if he were to follow through here, is veering off. So I'm not hitting it perpendicular to the weapon, where the weapon would come over and still, if I go perpendicular to it as he's hitting downward, that's still not good. If I go at an angle, then I'm more protected. So, walking step, guiding block, come up under. Now, even if his arm's continuing down, that's okay, still works for me, okay? Now, if hits come all the way down, this gets into another area of the application, but for our baseline, from my cat, I'm grabbed, my fist comes out and around, and now I'm going to brush by. I'm not hitting him down this way, I'm just going to brush by the elbow with a push as I come through, just enough to give it a little pop. So he goes, hey, right, isn't that what you're saying? Okay, hey, then here, that puts me into this position. From here, back hammer, face, throat, body, depending on how lethal, nose. I could change the hammer to a grab and knee to the back, okay? Here, here, here. Watch for that. Ready? 1, 2, and 1. Pop, don't push down. Coming to this position, cross hammer. And again, like I said, the little extra gizmos in there, okay? Now, let's go to the other side. The second move in the kata is the exact same thing on the other side, okay? He's still hitting with the same hand. Again, most people are right-handed. And let's say, just for the sake of argument, that I go to do the inside one, but he happened to use his left hand. What's happened here? Now I'm just doing the same thing as I did on the other side. So it works either way. This just gives me the inside position. So the same walking, same punching. From here, I'm going to hit this top of the forearm right below where it hits the elbow. There's a name for this pressure point, but I don't remember. Pop it as I come across, and then I'm here again. I could release this hand and make that a punch also, okay? And cross hammer. But I like to be able to control it, and from here also, I can grab the stick and then come back. Now, if I've pulled him really close, obviously my hammer fist is way over here, but what else is hitting? Now, if I have the stick, I can hook his neck, and again, I'm in a cat stance, and I can knee and kick and take it down and do all sorts of other fun stuff, okay? But the baseline inside technique, same walking step, same punch, pop the arm, take it or don't, come back, hammer. Baseline technique. All the fun little extras are just fun little extras. Okay? So those are our two first, those are our two first bunkai for Pinan Shodan as I require them. But again, we also play with some of those other template interpretations, angles, different types of attacks. But for a set memorized one, those are our first two bunkai. I hope that is interesting, enjoyable, fun. Play with it, see what you like, see what you hate. Leave comments, make jokes, critique me, tell me I suck, whatever you need to do. But spread the news, and until next week, as always, keep practicing.